Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I want to talk about the haunted key. The haunted key. Folks, this is a trick that I have loved for years. Basically, the haunted key sits in your hand like this, and it moves. It moves, I'm telling you. I mean, look at that. It is cool. The haunted key. But I have a very special guest performer today. She is a talent. I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of her. By the way, I'm blessed to have her here. Without any further ado, please let me introduce to you Abracadabra Gail. Take a look, folks.
Very good.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that performance. That's Abracadabra Gail. She is the daughter of Tony Witt. Thank you so much, Tony, for your permission to use that. I hope you enjoyed it. That is a performance of the Haunted Key. What I wanted to do is give you a little bit of a history on the Haunted Key. And what I did, I have the history right here. I'm going to put it in the notes down below so you can take a look. This was a difficult history to assemble, and I'm almost certain there's an error in it. Let me tell you how I did this. I first of all, I went to my usual haunts. I went to all the places that specialize in providing history of effects and magical history and so on. And I found nothing. There is a woeful lack of evidence for this particular effect on the internet. So, and of course I have books and I have encyclopedias. I went through those and I found nothing. So I had to go to different forums, which, when you go to a forum, when you go to a magic forum, you never know what you're getting in a forum. I mean, people could be blowing their horn. You just don't know. But I basically found little bits and pieces of information here, there, and everywhere, and I put them together. So here it is, folks, the history of the Haunted Key. 1935 is the first reference I was able to find to the Haunted Key. That doesn't mean that it didn't exist before 1935. But in 1935, a gentleman by the name of Nate Leipzig was doing the Haunted Key. And he makes some reference to it. In 1937, Topps Magazine published an article by Ormond McGill on the Haunted Key. In 1942, Edwin Corrie said that he purchased a key in 1942 at Snyder's Magic Shop in Cleveland. So this thing was a dealer item. Probably by 1942, it became a dealer item. 1952, Dr. Jack's fingertip handling was published in the Phoenix, issue 246, January 11, 1952, page 984, with illustrations by Jack. So you get a different handling. I mean, most people that do the key hold the key here, but some people hold it out on their fingertips. I think it's a little easier to control in the palm. 1963, John Mulholland's Book of Magic has a spooky key in it on page 76. 1972, Close-Up Magic for Beginners by Harry Barron. There's reference to the Haunted Key. 1973, Van Cleve had it in a set of lecture notes. 1979, Body Magic by John Fisher describes the fingertip balance and the key turning inside of a book. 1976, Charles Cameron published the fingertip balance in Devil's Diary, crediting it to Dr. Jacks. Now, 1978, both versions, palm and tip middle finger versions, are included in Martin Gardner's Encyclopedia of Impromptu Magic. Great book. If you don't have it, pick it up. The fingertip method is attributed to Dr. Jacks. Now, 1983. Now, it could have been earlier than 1983. I don't know. But there's a gentleman by the name of Martin Breeze who is stating that he is the first person to come up with a specifically balanced key. Now, this particular key is specifically balanced. Whereas an antique key, see that's the haunted key as marketed. This is a real antique key. You can do the effect with any key, but it's certainly easier with something like this. I'm going to talk about the different products in a moment, so you can take a look at what's available on the market now. There was, for the longest time, and I always thought this was older than 1983, but maybe it's not. See, that's the problem with instructions. A lot of instructions that come with tricks do not give you a history of the trick. They do not give you proper accreditations. And they don't give, there's no date on the instructions. There's no date on the box. So you really can't track historically where something came from if the makers don't date them. But in 1983, Martin Breeze comes up with a trick called the key to Borley Rectory. Borley Rectory, as I recall, and I didn't do the research on this, so I apologize, but I think it's one of the more famous haunts, at least in the UK. So it makes sense that a haunted key would come from such a place. But he claims to be the first to have marketed a key specifically made for the effect. Supreme Magic released the haunted key in or around 1983. The effect was purchased by U.S. dealers, and this is basically, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but this is basically the key that at least was available for the next, after 1983, the next 2 decades or so. I picked up, I've got a collection of antique keys. This is a real antique key. I like the authenticity of an antique key. This key, I don't know where this key came from. I really don't, but it is absolutely one of my favorites of the haunted keys. I like the bronze. I like the antique look of it. It just looks really good. There's a magician who specializes in bizarre magic. His name is Paul Prater. And he came up with this thing. It's a Crescent Hotel box. I love the way the box is made. It's an antique looking box. Leather hinges. Inside, room number 140. And this is the key that you get. That key is absolutely gorgeous. I love the way it's antiqued. I love the way it looks. It's just a fantastic key. So again, these are made by Paul, and you can pick them up on Paul's website. I love the way it's packaged. It's just a nice little key. And then a lot of people, I think the Abracadabra Gail, I believe she's using the haunted key by Murphy's Magic, and this is the particular key right here, probably the best. I mean, this key is absolutely gorgeous. I just love it to death. It's a gorgeous key. What can I say? But this is available now. Murphy's, I don't believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't believe Murphy's sells to the general public. They're a manufacturer, so you would need to go through your favorite dealer. Now that hopefully that's a local brick and mortar dealer. So support our brick and mortar shops, folks. But it's also available from Penguin and a number of other fine dealers. So what you have here is the original. I think that's, as far as I know, that's the first marketed key. Then you have genuine antique keys. You have the Murphy's Magic key. I don't know where this came from. It was a dealer item though. It was not. This is not an antique key. And then the Paul Prater version, which is also very good. One more resource that I want to make you aware of. This is Richard Osterland's Mind Mysteries, Volume 7. Volume 7, he has, Richard performs the classic haunted key effect using the methods from his classic book, Making Magic Real. You will see how the key turns over with no movement of the performer's hands. And believe me, when you see Richard do this, you will go out and get a key if you don't already have one. Richard really knocks it out of the park. He's done a lot of great work on the effect. He explains exactly how to really perfect it if you want to do it. So I recommend this very highly to you. Pick it up, study it. Folks, that is the Haunted Key. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, thank you so much, Abracadabra Gail, for participating in this event, in this video. I appreciate your art. I appreciate your talent. I wish you the very best as you progress in your career as a performer. You're going to be a star. Folks, comment down below. I love to hear your comments. Please subscribe. And hey, email me, david@daviddelman.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.